I give my body, heart, and soul to the lady whom I seek. No plea for help shall find me wanting. No obstacle will stand before me. No evil will taint the lands bequeathed unto me. When the clarion call is sounded, I will ride out and fight in the name of liege and lady. That which is sacrament, I shall preserve. That which is sublime, I will protect. That which threatens, I will destroy. For my holy wrath will know no bounds. Honor is all. Chivalry is all. Rejoice, for we, the Knights of BRETONNIA, will be your shield.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and the project is finally done. BRETONNIA, one of the core factions for Warhammer the Old World, an army that has been near and dear to my heart. One of my old armies actually back in the day, because I did have one multicolored but not painted in a nice way, repainted, done up to a full dukedom styling as per how everything is right now for the Old World. 8,000 points or near enough, with a bunch of classics, a bunch of new models, and a bunch of kit bashes too. Well, actually just one kit bash, but I'm quite happy about how we'll go into detail for that one a little bit later. I really wanted to start finishing up my projects. As you guys have seen on my channel, every army that you've seen so far is mine. But no army was ever complete. No army was finished. With the release, or well, with the announcement of Grand Cafe, and well, obviously a release coming up, who knows when, I looked at my projects and I was like, I need to start finishing these forces. I need to start finishing up these races so I can justify time spent on Cafe in the future. I have a pile of shame, which is absolutely ridiculous. So it's time to end that pile. Here is 8,000 points done in a dukedom styling alongside some characters. There is a lot to talk about. I feel like we're going to be here for a little bit of time, but I want to show off what has been basically around 2 months, maybe a bit more of work. I had about 2,000 points done before, prior to the release of the Old World, but I wanted to get more sorted. Before we go into everything regarding what I have, which is a fair amount, let's be honest here, I do want to say a big thank you to Games Workshop, who during the launch of Warhammer the Old World did reach out, provided me with a big army box for BRETONNIA, and also a few characters here and there, which was very, very nice of them. We're going to be talking about everything. Again, not expected for them to send me stuff. I do very much appreciate it. Most of the Bretonnians, as you can see, as you can imagine, I do have some 5th edition knights over there. I've had these guys for a while. And yeah, it was just nice for them to reach out and have me involved with the launch of our favorite game returning, you know? It's a bit different. It's more like 6th, but it feels like home. So we're going to talk about the units in a separated form just because I am putting them away. I'm finally taking them home for storage. And here we have 96 Peasant Archers full command, including at the very front, we do have some of the classic ones from the 5th edition kit, because I just wanted to get some archers done. We do have a little bit of a kit bash going there with a banner and so on, just something different, mostly because just wanted to play around. All these archers have the stakes and the flaming attacks, which I've got them separated in their own bases, just in case I want to use it or not, because it's always the best way to go. I love Bretonnian archers. They're some of my best kits. I just really like sitting down and just painting with them. I don't know. It's just so simple as a kit, but just really, really dynamic in that sense. Maybe it's just me. But alongside these, we do have 120 men-at-arms. mostly in full command, including the new Fat Pilgrim rules. They've always been in the kit, but they just never had rules. So it's nice to see them up and running there. I wanted big blocks. I think that's the total war aspect of me coming in. You're just wanting loads and loads of units, which I think looks good. When you see them on the table, you've seen before on how they look. It just adds a lot of flavor. Now, alongside that, I do have a 20-man block of Knights of the Realm on foot, brand new unit that was released for the Old World. This was a box sent to me kindly by Games Workshop before the launch of the box, which was really, really nice of them. Very, very interesting. There's more that I want to do for these guys. I do want to add in multiple units. I want to have some with the great weapons, but that is going to be a time later down the road because I want to have a break from BRETONNIA and actually start working on my Chaos Warriors. But they're really, really cool. It's nice to see some new units coming in. We're going to talk about some old stuff now, though, because we can't talk about BRETONNIA without talking about Knights. 24 Knights Errant, 2 blocks in red, 2 blocks in blue. I wanted to do something different through the Knights of the Realm because, of course, it's the same kit. The only difference is pretty much just a headpiece. So I figured, give them 4 barding. They're quite fun. They're useful. Yeah, useful. I prefer Knights of the Realm, but obviously these guys are limited now. We do have some Knights of the Realm alongside them. 18, so 3 groups of 6, 2 full command, 1 which just basically adds in filler. Mostly because at the beginning of the BRETONNIA project, I was not sure how it was going to work. Are we going to be in the full lance formation, or are we going to use blocks like we did in 8th edition? So I just wanted to paint extra ones just in case. They're up and running. I think it's nice that we've got a little bit of everything to use down here. This is my core. There is a lot more units to come, but as you can imagine, very, very healthy block of core. We're moving on to special now, and I've got a 9-man unit of squires. I only picked them up recently. I'm still kind of learning how to use varnish because they're metal models, obviously, and I don't want them to start cracking and chipping. But pretty fun unit. I just wanted to have one of everything. Even units I just generally don't have, I was buying into because I want to stop ignoring everything. If I want to showcase something, it's going to be as much as I can get my hands on. So 9 squires, full command. Yet to use them in the game, but give it some time, right? Now we're going to move on to the questing knights because after many, many years of drama, I finally found my banner bearer. I knew I had him. I don't know where. We've only got 8. It's really weird. I'm pretty sure I have another one hiding somewhere. Funny enough, I also had a second musician, but that's being used in the Grail Knights that you'll see in a little bit. Pretty happy. Questing Knights have become a staple on the channel. Every time I play with BRETONNIA, someone else uses my army. So I'm pretty keen to finally have a full block of them. Now we've got some Grail Pilgrims, 2 little groups. Basically just got my hands on them recently, especially as the Reliquae came back into stock and disappeared shortly after in red colors. Eventually I want to do another one in blue colors because at the end of the day, I want to kind of mix and match them. Yep, 2 little blocks though. Yet to use them. Can't wait to. I've got a game coming up soon, so hopefully I can use them then. And finally, a group of 8 mounted yeomen. These guys just have spears, no shields. So spears and bows. Full command also. Quite keen on them. I like a good skirmish cavalry. It's nice that BRETONNIA has access to them. It's just really trying to fit them with my theme. Because I mostly just go very Pegasus heavy. Which, speaking of which, 15 Pegasus Knights, groups of 5 with full command. The idea is just to play around. These 3 were originally painted back in the day, and then these others have been added in. I've been working around with trying to get the best usage of normal paints and also contrast paints, and I think it works out quite well. I'm very happy with them. Pegasus Knights are probably one of the best knights that you've got there, and I really wanted to do an RAF list. We're jumping into rare now. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of rare units, so we have 2 units of Grail Knight. These were made by my friend Michael, who sold me off some Grail Knights when he was getting rid of some of his Bretonians. And to be honest, his kit bashes are quite nice, using the banner from the Knights on Foot. The shields, I believe, are from the Sisters of Battle in Warhammer 40k, but they fit very nicely, obviously, because of the flawed piece. And I wanted to make them very, very colorful, right? Because the Bretonian dukedoms right now, you're focusing very heavily on a dukedom scheme. The Grail Knights, I believe, they've earned their own fiefdoms, they've earned their own castles, so they should have their own heraldry, their own banner colors, and I think it makes it look very nice. They make them pop quite heavily. The last unit that we do have, the 2 trebuchets. the first one in blue was painted long before the Old World was even announced. I had these guys for quite some time now. I lost one of the crew, which is why I'm using some stones there as a crew piece member there. And when the contrast paints first came out, I think. And then the second one, these are actually a second-hand purchase. I have no problem admitting that. So I saw them online, and I wanted to start sorting out a unit of just for an army of disgraced knights. So I figured I'll buy them up. So far, I've done nothing with that, but I'm not going to do anything with the disgraced knights for a while, and they can fix up the units and so on. But I think they look quite nice. I added my own little flair to it, fixed up some stuff, and there we go. End of the day, it was a very good offer, and you have to take a good offer when it stands, right? Why do you need one battle standard bearer when you can have 4? The new kit came out, which was the 2, the one on foot and the one on horse also, which I went specifically to Warhammer World for last year, as it was never on stock on the website, alongside the Royal Pegasus. This guy was sent to me, again, by Games Workshop, very, very kind. A bunch of models were sent over by GW, but, outlining all the specific ones, especially for the men-at-arms, it's just kind of mixed up with my old ones. Yeah, I'm like, we've got BSBs for every flavor. We want it with a flail. We want it with a sword. There's one on foot. There's one on a Pegasus. I need a normal Pegasus now, but that's the problem for future, Nathan, because right now, I'm pooped out on red and blues. I've never disliked Football Club Barcelona as much as I do right now. But I think they look good. I think they look awesome. And yeah. Spellcasters. You need to have spellcasters when you're playing with BRETONNIA, because the lady has sent her finest. We've got characters on foot, characters on horse, characters on barded war horses, a unicorn. No, unfortunately, Elise Ducard, but we do have the old model of Morgana Le Fay, and then a massively kit bash character, which actually uses about half of Elise Ducard. This is my prophetess on a royal Pegasus, all original GW parts. There is the wings being broken off and then just like remolded with green stuff. That was thanks to our friend Jaden, who you've seen on the channel before. He helped me out there because I really wanted a spellcaster on a Royal Pegasus, but I'm very bad at green stuff. I'm very clumsy, and he is very specialized with that. I want to have spellcasters of every type, just in case, because at the end of the day, you want to have just in case, right? Maybe that's just me. Maybe I have a problem. I think I do. But I feel like it's always good to have quite a lot of flavor. And we're at the final characters, obviously, the Metal Lord over here with the Squire, which everyone made fun of when he got announced, but I think is a great kit. And we've got the old school Paladin here, alongside, I believe he's listed as a questing knight, actually, which is quite nice. He's on foot. He's pretty cool. Cecil, brand new named character, very, very nice. I got him colored in the yellow and stuff. I think he's very vibrant, Some generics, a bunch of generics, because at the end of the day, you need a generic lord there with a lance, and then one to join up with more questing knights. A old school Bretonnian paladin on the metal Pegasus. He's got a tactical rock and everything, just to make him a little bit more dynamic. And then a lot more Royal Pegasus, because I really enjoy this kit. I really, really do enjoy this kit. They're very awesome. They've got a lot of life into them. The idea was just, I liked the first one. I wanted to get more. I'm likely to get more in the future, but when I want to deal with BRETONNIA again. The Green Knight is here, and he is a returning character, obviously. Very, very, very cool. I've got 2 out of the 3 named characters so far for BRETONNIAN. I would love to have Elise, but she's never on stock, which is a bit of a shame. And lastly, some old school hippogriffs. We've got the very, very classic one over here. Very, very cool, right? And then this one has been a bit of a work of art. Jaden and I jumped in because I found Leon Leonka. Well, I found his legs. I found most of Bequis, but we suffered quite heavily there where I didn't have the pieces for him. So we just decided, let's make one up. We were missing an arm, which our friend Angelo kind of reproduced as much as he could. Then we used a spare Grail Knight that I had, which is really, really weird, actually, and just used some extra bits. Obviously, the plastic bit there for the Hawk for the Knights of the Realm, just to make him look different, right? This is my Duke. This is my Duke, and he needs to look regal. I don't know why he's going to be flying on a hippogriff at 100 miles per hour and also bringing a Hawk with him, but, got to look stylish doing it. And that's it. That is the Bretonnian Force. That is way too much work. I really, really enjoyed this. I did have a lot of help from local community when they stepped in, either by printing out some stuff or helping me prime up some stuff. There'll be a full list of credits soon. That's one army down. It's never really complete, right? This army is not complete. There's more that I want to do to it. But for the time being, Bretonnians are done. It won't be too long until you see the next one. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, the video's not done because as we were packing up, Jaden just arrived and the character that was missing. Apparently, he and Ricardo have decided to surprise me with Lady Elise in... How long did it take you?
6 hours.
No, I did. Yeah, I've been hunting this character for about a year and a half, constantly, and like no luck whatsoever. And I am over the moon. She looks amazing, dude. Thank you. She looks...
Yeah, I arrived on Thursday, picked it up Thursday night, worked on it Friday afternoon, and I bid on Thursday, and here she is on a Saturday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I am absolutely blown away. She looks amazing. She's my God, the unicorn is huge. It's a chunky horse. It's a chunky horse. Actually, let's just put him next to the Green Knight. Yeah, like the scale difference is massive. Yeah, thank you, dude. I'm absolutely overwhelmed.